Sound is not on.
Okay, we do not have quorum yet, so we're gonna get through what is not votable and we will, does not require a vote, and we'll hope that someone else shows up. So it is 7:04. I will call the meeting to order. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Nope. Okay. Anyone like to speak on privilege of the floor? No? Okay. Man, we're going too fast. We gotta slow down. We're gonna, I guess I should have, do I have to announce the order of the agenda ahead of time? We're gonna skip over approval of the minutes and come back to it. And do town board liaison report. Do you want to say anything? Do you want Joel to say something?
It's time to go.
All the time. You can stretch it out as long as you want.
We take a vote on that?
I'll just a few things. Those proposed changes to the Hamlet zoning have been passed on to the board. The town board got them a while ago. There was some discussion and questions last night.
Okay.
So hopefully, maybe we should be able to consider passing them at the first meeting in December, maybe? Is that?
We'd have to set a public hearing.
Oh, there
so
has to be a
it'll
public
be
hearing.
more discussion.
Yeah. That's true. I forgot about it. Yeah.
Anything that would come back to us in terms of questions? No, okay, just clarifications.
Yeah. Then notice should be going out in the town newsletter about terms ending and empty or unfilled positions. The planning board, being a 7-member board, and every year somebody's term expires, and this year Colleen wins. So we'll know and hope that she's.
I did
applying.
reapply.
I saw that.
My application was kind of minimal. I kept saying why. I was like, because I'm already on the board.
Just be nice. I know some people just change the date.
There you go.
Which is all right. But besides, the sort of normal regular terms ending, there are unfilled positions for the Danby Youth Commission and the Conservation Advisory Committee. So if you know of anybody you think might be interested in either one of those, there are a number of positions, so it's not just one. So encourage people to think about that.
All right.
If they could maybe even attend a meeting before they submit an application.
So Jamie, I remember Jamie Vanucci had emailed me, I think when I had sent out these packets, and she said that she was going to be away. So her and Scott, with them as Ed and Jody.
Mhm.
So I might try to go pull one of them. Sometimes Ed comes in a little.
I have Jody's
All right, well, let me,
text.
yeah.
We just need one of them,
Just
right?
because I really don't want to,
Yeah.
especially with the hearing, and Joe's here tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy in his email said to make form, meet him, he said he'd come in.
Was that a comment of Scott? Because he did say, if I had to, I could attend.
Yeah. that's what I was
Oh, we're
referring
good.
to.
Ed's here.
Oh, great. Yay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Saved it. Thank you. Okay, so I will backtrack to approval of the minutes from October. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Boardman?
Here. Oh, sorry, yes.
Here, Andy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. On to the development
Okay,
review for 129 Hornbrook Road.
okay.
We looked at this in,
Jody's.
what's today? In October, like 12 months ago.
Well, yeah, it showed up. It might be over.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we'll see. Okay. For tonight, we need to first do a secret determination, then we can open public hearing and then consider approval.
Just gonna jump on it here. So we have in your packets and, you know, last time there was there was some things that were missing.
Job there, whatever, still cut off.
What was it?
Oh, yeah, on the edge of the,
Yeah, it had
The
a
little
little piece of
sliver.
business left in, or farming left in with the business, remember?
2 acre thing.
Maybe I don't know what you're referring to. It might be referring to a few things.
I think it just wasn't a straight line before.
Yeah.
Like where the zoning didn't match the.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Oh.
two different zones on one piece
Oh,
of
okay.
parcel.
I was talking about the seeker form.
Oh, sorry.
Because there was a few things that were not filled in, so we're just doing seeker for right now, but
Okay.
if you want to take a look at the. Actually, if you want to just take a look at the, do you want to take a look at the plat while it's open?
bring it up.
So it meets the zoning. What I was trying to write in my staff memo was. The zone district boundary for the commercial, this new property that's being proposed right here. And is entirely within the commercial zone district, so it meets the dimensions of the commercial zone district, so that's really the bottom line. But the boundary, for whatever reason, starts over here and it kind of jogs out like this and then comes down, and it's about 2 acres. I measured it. And the district's about 5 acres, so if this is 3, there's maybe 2 acres left over. It doesn't really matter, I'm just putting out there that I don't think it's worth the planning board forcing them, you know, you can't force someone to sort of carve out more land.
Right.
It's not, they're meeting the minimum dimensions of the commercial zone district. You know, it's possible that if they wanted to consider subdividing this really narrow piece of commercial land off, they could do that. That might be impractical. They could also request a rezoning. The town board could also just say, we're just going to rezone, we're just going to remove that sort of sliver of commercial area and just keep this property as part of the commercial zone. It doesn't impact the subdivision is the
Yeah.
bottom line.
Okay.
Likely, just as a note though, likely whoever's going to move into this space, if that happens, likely that new user, I don't think there's any uses that, unless it was residential, but I doubt that. They would be required a site plan review. So if and when there's a new owner or lessee, yeah, you know, we'll see a site plan review application. Okay, so for now, it's going back to seeker, and what I can show you is just. Again, just a few things that needed to be. Kind of filled in, and I just went ahead and did them. Just making it clear that the description of the project is to subdivide land at 129 Hornbrook into 2 lots, one measuring 3 acres and the other measuring 107.5 acres. Clarifying that the total acreage of the site is the 110.59. No acreage is being disturbed, and the total acreage owned by the applicant is 110.59. Just filling in on 4 and 5 down here, the types of land uses.
Is it not commercial now?
That's a good point. I guess it's just it's vacant. But But that could be added. Sure. So we can note that for the file. I won't necessarily do it on the fly, otherwise I have to get into PDFs, but I'll just,
Sure,
we
that's
can
fine.
note that, so. Moving on down, just it's a permitted use under the zoning regulations and consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan. And again, for subdivisions 9, 10, and 11 are not applicable.
Mhm.
This one should be checked, and I missed that one, but again, it's a subdivision and it's not encroaching into any water body or wetland there. Likely, if there is a site plan and they have to go through this is there again for a site plan, we might take a closer look at that, but,
Right now, it's just a subdivision.
right. The balance of the property is unique. Literally, it's in a unique natural area. So I've never been out there, but did you know that you have a unique natural area on that property? Yeah, it's the first swamp that sits right at the top of the watershed divide.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Also behind Christine, near the town barns?
yeah, going back in that way, yep. So it's not just your property, but it's a very large expanse that includes Dotson Park here too.
Oh.
So,
I think it's also a recharge.
Right.
It's right at the bottom.
Yeah.
of the hill.
right. So actually, oh, that's a good note too. So this property actually here where the subdivision is located, where the new lot, it is in this aquifer overlay zone district. Again, subdivision's not, doesn't affect subdivision, but during site plan review, the board would want to look at the aquifer overlay restrictions. There are many uses that are not allowed as part of that are in that overlay. Things like car washes, anything that has a lot of like waste associated with it that might be dumped there. And then there's some impervious lot coverage restrictions.
So this is for both parcels?
Yeah,
Or just
the
even commercial?
overlay is kind of like
Okay.
right here.
Okay,
So during site plan review, it'd just be good to just make sure that it meets the standards of that district. So moving on down this, I just filled in a couple more. That type of habitat, wetland, forest, early mid-successional. It's not in the floodplain. And that is it. So with that, I've put together the part 2. And just recommend that it's the subdivision will result in no or small impact on the environment.
Agreed.
I wrote in part 3 that the proposed subdivision meets the dimensional requirements for new lots in the commercial C and rural, that should be rural 1, we'll change that. Zoning districts, no development is planned with this application, there will not be any adverse environmental impacts as a result of the subdivision.
Walked
You just-
in right after you got off the phone.
that's okay. I didn't get the stuff in my mailbox either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? I definitely delivered it.
See, so
I always wonder if the mail person's gonna just move it.
It's technically not supposed to be in there.
Yeah.
It's not mail.
But I also had written it down wrong. Going
Okay.
between
Okay.
TC Actions meetings and these Tuesdays and Thursdays, yeah. But I didn't get anything in the mailbox, which
Huh.
usually also reminds me, so, oh well. I'm sorry.
One of the last time I stopped, I know I delivered it, but okay, or maybe someone moved it.
No, just asked my husband if he took it.
Yeah.
And he said no.
So there's a resolution, just making a negative determination. If any board member wants to move that.
Which one?
Number 1.
Environmental significance.
We must have one, right?
Yeah.
I'll
It's, I don't have any.
recommend moving it.
That's good. I'll second.
No, I think we're good. Bergman,
Yes.
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Fred. Do you want to vote?
Yes.
And. Yes. Okay, so now we can open public hearing. If anyone has any comments on the subdivision. You may speak now. Seeing none. That's that.
There we go. I'll speak from two perspectives. Just as a watcher of planning board stuff. This was approved in the past. It's no more or less controversial than it was then, and I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be approved now. Speaking with another hat as one of the directors of the park, which is one of the nearby neighbors, can't see how this could hurt the park. End of comment.
Okay.
And we certainly wouldn't mind if you donate that the larger parcel to the park and enlarge the park.
What do you think?
Donated town barn already. We donated all that land.
Okay.
All right.
We donated.
Any other comments for public hearing? Okay. No, I think it's his
It
hand.
says.
Yeah, the hovering cursor. All right, I will close public hearing. Any other discussion? Or would anyone like to make a motion for approval of subdivision?
I'll make a motion to approve the subdivision.
I'll second.
No, I don't think so. Bergman,
Yes.
Colbert,
Yes.
Helen,
Yes.
Schreiber,
Yes.
Meyer. Yeah.
That's it, so.
All right,
This, yeah, wants to have the assignment now.
yep. I can sign while you do planner report.
Sure, that's great. Do. And Kelly will sign this. And you'll take this down. Are you working with an attorney? Are you?
Yeah, we have, over.
Okay. Maybe they want to coordinate, but they'll just bring it down. No problem. For office and then it's kind of, you'll get your own tax ID like that.
Thank you for all your help.
Yep, nice to meet you.
Just make sure it gets filed, so we don't have to do it again.
This time I will get fun. I promise. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Hard up.
for it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Brief updates. I've been at a number of different trainings over the last few weeks. For 3 days at the end of October, I went to this Land Use and Leadership Alliance training. It was out at Greek Peak. It was excellent. It was really about large scale solar battery energy systems that are becoming more prevalent. A little bit about data centers. So there was a lawyer there touching on that. Wind, and they really started with, just the basics of site plan review, things like that, and then going all the way into, the state's goals of having renewable energy. And I'm still kind of digesting it and talking with people that were at the training. So I'd love to maybe put some things together for the planning board. There's a whole ton of information that came out of it, ton of presentations. A big takeaway that I took was that, Danby is well positioned at least to handle solar, battery energy storage systems. Yes, in terms of site plan review, there's no specific, my question at least was, are they typically tied to solar energy, or are they standalone? Could somebody come in and say, we want to just put a battery energy storage system, which imagine just like shipping containers, that's kind of like a complex of them. And, would that be allowed sort of as a standalone? And that I think needs to be looked at in the code, because right now, if they're part of a solar system, then they would be allowed and go through natural site plan review. If they're proposed separately, I'm not sure that they would be allowed anywhere in Danby. So the other thing too is just proximity to transmission lines. And we were doing a little bit of an analysis of where in Danby would another solar farm be located. And, looking up on like Jersey Hill, there's lots of land up there. It seems that there's a transmission line, also along Coddington and like going down onto Banks Road. There's a lot of open area down there. So those seem to be sort of areas that solar may be located if they do choose to locate in Danby. Data centers right now are not considered public utilities, so they don't get sort of a lower bar to clear like solar energy or wind energy. And there was a sort of anxiety I could feel sort of in the crowd that would data centers eventually be considered a public utility? And the lawyer giving the presentation was really, kind of vague on that, saying just it's not yet. Right now they're still considered. There's still a high bar to clear in terms of site plan review and local regulations. They're not preempted at the state level, but there may come a time when there's a case, kind of like nuclear energy, and that's just what happened. It's just there was a case a long time ago where it was a variance case. Nuclear energy site with those large cooling towers, 500 feet tall, exceeded the town's 35-foot height maximum, and it went all the way up to all the way through the courts in New York, and it was found that they just deserve a lighter scrutiny, essentially. And so there's I just wonder if data centers are going to become the next nuclear kind of energy system, where they're given a lower bar to clear and a little bit lighter scrutiny. So not to put a little bit of fear out there, it's just, there is talk of data centers now with the Cayuga data center proposal and all. So I just wanted to bring that forward. Probably Danby would not see that. They do draw a lot of water. So, unless there was a large utility scale kind of project for water. Jake, you don't know anything about Bolton bringing water up here, do you?
We're not gonna put it out.
Right. So, it's Danby's probably safe from a data center like that. But in terms of solar, and battery energy storage systems, certainly it's still within that realm. And I know last time, I think Ted had brought up, like wind farm, there's somebody calling around and noticing property owners about potential a wind farm project, but.
Did they go into that in any depth? For example, present you, I haven't seen them lately, but your basic wind maps. And if they did, are there any locations in Danby that looked good?
They didn't go into great detail, no.
Okay.
Mostly the conference was focused on solar energy, but there were just a couple of sessions on wind, battery energy storage systems, and then data centers. So other than that, I've been attending David West's, he's having this locomotive tour with some topics. It's been very good with just different local officials around the county. A lot of it's related to housing, creating just sort of community, and last session was on elected officials, so I was the only non-elected official in the audience, but it was still a good discussion about just how to move projects forward in a town when you have elected and appointed and staff officials. I'll just wrap this up with just saying that we being Joel and I, and there's a sewer committee, there's a committee of folks, Mark Pruse, Zach Larkins, Jake, you're on the committee, but haven't seen the email. We've been meeting with Hunt engineers to continue discussion about Hamlet sewer. There's a lot of aspects to this project. As you know, the town was awarded a grant last year. And then we're in this process, or sort of about to start a process to create sewer districts in each of the hamlets. That process is not going to start anytime soon. We're kind of getting a little bit more information under our belt. They were almost going to start that process. They being Hunt was almost going to start that process this past summer, but the town, Joel and myself and this team included, just felt, let's just wait a little bit and get a little bit more information, get more information out of Hunt engineers in terms of the types of sewer systems that are available. So today they were going over different types of treatment solutions, and we're going to have a meeting with the DEC and a financial advisor too, to sort of help the town understand debt service. And I mean, when you're dealing with these millions of dollars, the town doesn't have to front that. They might have to take on debt in order to pay and then get reimbursed through a grant. So there is still a lot of information that we're still collecting that I think earlier this year we thought, oh, we'll be starting in earnest, later this year, but really it's we're still in an information gathering stage. So that's that. And I'll just leave it there for now, because I think that's a big project is just being worked on, is positioning the town to make the best decisions around if municipal sewer is right in the hamlets, and it's a big cost. So trying to set the town up to be able to offset as much cost as possible, so it's not borne onto people in the district. There'll be a lot more to come on that. I'm keeping a pretty high level in terms of like what we're talking about, because frankly, that's really all where we're at right now. We start to get into the weeds of talking about the specifics of treatment systems and things, but it's almost too soon for that. It's still trying to figure out some of the larger kind of overarching underpinnings of having municipal sewer for a town that's never had it before.
Sounds good.
And I actually have a question about something. I listened to the last New York thing on childcare. And it reminded me, we're supposed to do 4 hours. And are there ones that have happened that we can go back and look at as webinars, or because
I
really,
just got an email today or yesterday
because I think
that
that's the
they
only
just
one
got
done.
they just updated their website. That's supposed to make it easier to go in and see the trainings. And they also have a couple like packages right now, I think, for end of the year.
Okay.
Where you can I think you can sign up and choose from like one of 6 different sessions, or like among these 6 sessions, you can sign up for like a whole package and get through.
I just
Manage to
kind
need
of
to
had forgotten that part of it is they're almost all 12 to.
Go to one.
Yeah, and I'm not available then, so I haven't done them, but I actually ran out of what I was supposed to be doing at the end and put it on my phone, then came home and finished it on my iPad. So we can go in and get those and.
Yeah, I'll send around an email. I just did this to the Board of Zoning Appeals too, because I think only a couple of them had gotten their training, but I went through and found some training videos and just said, here's a 1 hour, here's a 2 hour. Also, I looked into the training too. There's not, the town doesn't have, as far as I know, a specific policy about it in terms of what counts and what doesn't. There are, it's not maybe the most ideal, but self-study is also considered training. So I actually sent the Board of Zoning Appeals a very good, it's an article that I always reference for area variances. It doesn't apply to the planning board, but it's a document that I continually reference if we have a case. So I sent that to them and said, if you read this, you know, I think this can count as an hour. It's a very good document. So I'm happy to put an email together with resources, videos,
That would be great,
publications, and
because
just have you.
it's almost the end of November and I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Well, and I will say, I think you mentioned before, but I almost never get the certificates back from them either.
I got the certificate.
You
They
did for
said it
this
would
one?
take,
Okay.
it said it would take about, a week and I got it yesterday.
Okay.
So yeah, I
I'll
got the
just
certificate
scour
back.
my emails of all the weekly emails
Uh-huh.
from them and see if it's buried in one that I skipped
Yeah.
over.
It was interesting to me, this particular one about childcare needs and
Yeah.
how did anybody else watch it?
Yeah, I was,
I saw it and thought of you.
Well, because I've been through that situation of trying to figure out, how
Yeah.
it was actually more having to do with our residential program. And people not wanting to have individuals with disabilities live next to them. They were afraid of that and everything. And this talked a fair amount about, it isn't the big deal people think it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I just thought I would bring up to make sure we're doing them, because I don't know how many. I sure haven't.
I try to find overlaps, but sometimes it's hard to find the overlaps
with.
with my professional ones
Yeah.
and then these
Yeah,
like,
well,
I thought this was twice.
Yeah, well, I'm working on 10 hours for my therapy thing too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
which I also hadn't really paid attention to that. I think probably because of surgery and stuff, I just didn't do them. I don't know that any of my PT things would apply.
Yeah.
Unless it was maybe accessibility.
Right.
There's,
Well, I'll send around an email. I'll put some resources together for everyone. to
okay,
take a look
great.
at.
Because it made me think about it. I was like, oh man, I haven't done this.
All right.
Mhm.
If that's it, I will call it a night. We'll adjourn the meeting. And see everyone in December. I'm assuming
Thank you.
there's things on the agenda.
Yep. Tonight, all on the Zoom.
You know what I think happened is we